paint this picture for me. So Mr. Wright, how tall is Mr. Wright?
Around 6 foot. I mean, I'm not really picky when it comes to that. Actually, really tall guys kind of scare me. So.
Okay, so around 6 foot, but not like 7 foot tall. Okay.
Yeah.
Build, like what kind of physique do you like? Do you like a bodybuilder? Do you like a swimmer's body? Do you like a dad bod? Do you like a guy shaped like a pear? Like what's your thing?
Athletic.
Okay, so swimmer's body?
Sure.
Okay. And how much does he have to make? Because you got to travel, you got to do cool shit. You're going to be together, monogamous, all that fun stuff. You got to get some toys for the kink. It's going to cost some money.
I think anywhere from like 50 to 150 or more.
50 to 150 is a big spread. What do you do for a living?
I'm not really picky when it comes to that because like I already support myself.
Okay.
So I don't need.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a nurse.
Okay. And what? Like, can you give me a range on what that pays where you live? Because I don't know what that pays in Texas. I know here they make like 100 to 150,000 depending on what kind of work they're doing. Is it in that range? Okay, cool. So you're in 100 to 150. Okay. And the guys you said 27 to 40, right? No kids.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, and he can't want kids.
Right.
Okay. So let me ask you this question now. So you're a nurse, and what do you bring to the table to the relationship for him?
I mean, I'm loyal, honest, I'm fun, someone that they can have an intellectual conversation with and have that deeper conversation, someone that's going to bring new things to the table. I'm funny, I think.
So you've got loyal, honest, fun. A man can get a dog for that. Intellectual conversation, you can have that with his friends, with men. Funny, he'll get that from a stand-up comedy. So what do you bring to the table outside of that as a woman?
I'm also feminine and
Chat, would you describe Candace as feminine? I'm not looking at the chat, Moff. You can tell me when the chat starts to chime in, but I'm just curious what the viewers think of it. So feminine. How long have you been a nurse for?
For right under 5 years.
5 years. And kids are definitely off the table. That's like a no-go zone for you.
Right.
Do you like to cook?
I do.
Are you a good cook?
I think I am.
Do you subscribe to the notion of blue jobs and pink jobs, or are you more of like, I'll handle a few of these things, and I want you to do these things, and maybe you'll be cooking and do the dishes sometimes, and I'll be taking out the garbage sometimes?
I think it's like a give and take kind of thing. It's like I definitely enjoy just completely doing it myself at times and kind of being creative in that aspect. And then I also enjoy sitting back and helping or assisting as well.
What's the chat saying, Moff?
We've got one here about the tattoos. I'm going to count that as a no for one, but then we have a yes. So we're even.
Okay. All right. You're fully independent. Like, how long have you lived by yourself?
For almost 5 years.
Do you own your own house?
I have my own place, yes.
Okay. So he would have to have his own place too, right? Would you date down to a guy? I mean, because you said that it'd be okay if he made $50,000 a year. So if you had a 6 foot tall, athletic guy, 30 years old, no kids, doesn't want kids, likes travel, but he makes 50 grand a year, would you take that guy on in your life? He doesn't have a house. He's renting because he only makes 50 grand a year.
I mean, that's still someone that I would be interested in dating. That's not really like a no for me.
But dating's not a long-term relationship. Dating's like, I'm going to check you out and see what you're made of.
Right. I still want someone who's still working on trying to build up from that as well.
But if he was hot, you would date him. If he's a hot dude.
There, it's not just based off of looks for me.
Yeah.
Like there are other aspects of that
But
as
he's
well.
only making $50,000 a year, so he's got to bring something to the table. He doesn't have a house. He's got a regular job.
Is he interesting? Is he adventurous?
There's something interesting about him, but he's only making 50 grand a year. He's a good looking dude.
I mean, there's also the confidence factor. Like, are they a confident guy?
No, I know, but I mean, you did say that you would date him, but it was like a hesitant date him. Like it's not somebody I would kind of take seriously. I would look at him, see what he's made of. Is he ambitious? Maybe I'm sort of picking up. Like, is that what I'm getting? Like, does he have a future? Does he have potential?
Right. Yeah. Like I want to see that there's drive, that there's ambition.
What about like a 40-year-old guy that's got potential? Like if he made $50,000 a year, like you met a guy that's 40, he's good looking, he's 6 foot, he doesn't want kids, but he makes $50,000 a year at 40. Would you have patience for potential with a 40-year-old guy?
Yeah. I would.
Yeah.
Candace, are you the type that you prefer, if you had your perfect world, say LTR, long-term relationship, are you willing to sort of go along with, I hesitate to use the term submit because everybody hates that word, but I'll say it, submit to a guy's leadership. If this is a guy that you choose to be with and you want to be with, you have these accolades and you make a good living and you have, these things to your name, but it sounds like you still maybe want to have a guy that is capable of making plans and making decisions and you sort of going along with the flow. Is that right?
Oh yeah, like definitely, because I'm someone that I'm so in charge of everything else in my life. I want to be able to come into the relationship and turn that aspect of my brain off.
But do you think that you would be able to take direction and sort of take guidance from a guy that is yet to have it all figured out, from a guy that's making a half, or a third, or half as much money as you're making? Maybe he hasn't been to as many places as you have. Maybe he is not as experienced with the kink dynamic as you are, So I think what we're trying to get at here is that I don't know if I'm convinced that you would be necessarily saddled with a guy who isn't kind of a level above you in a way, because I hear, I want to be submissive. I want to I do all this other stuff. I'm in a job where I'm constantly having to kind of wear the pants, so to speak. So and we hear that from a lot of women that are in high paying careers. Like they do this very above the shoulders, acidic, masculine stuff all day at work. And the last thing they want to do is come home and have to play quarterback for their own relationship. Mm-hmm. But is there a part of you maybe that would see a guy that doesn't have it figured out, doesn't have the things you've got, doesn't make the money you make? Do you think maybe you have an issue or have trouble letting that guy drive the car while you're the passenger?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like
it's not meant to be a gotcha. It's just, it's not a stumper. It's just, I think that's something that we try to get at here is like, like maybe you'd have patience for the guy to kind of figure it out, but that expiration date of him figuring it out is a short runway, especially if that guy's an older guy, because you don't want to come home and tell this guy how to date you. You want a guy that already knows how.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here and pin down below in the top comment. You'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.